these incredible run where the game seems like it's so second nature to him, and then there are times like on 13 where he can't even hit a golf ball. He's a unique figure in our sport because of how human he is, how honest he is. He's led everyone in on this journey in a way that Tiger never really did. He's a much more sort of approachable character in the media. And I just think everyone, Bryson being in the mix too, he's kind of the next wave that sort of represents him. He plays a little golf. It was just a real clash. And it felt like everything was right in the golf of this. I think, even if you might have been for Bryson, it was hard not to appreciate the rapid moment. As you mentioned, they've been playing sports obviously differently, six guys.
How's everybody doing?
Next saying,
How is everybody doing?
I wonder what do you make of
I'm starting in about a minute.
it's clearly had on that.
Starting at 11 o'clock.
Their careers might end up in different spots, but I just wonder what you make of the influence that it's had.
When Tiger was doing the thing, he was like 21. I was maybe really right. He said that when Tiger won 1997.
I appreciate y'all for tuning in, as I always do. YouTube over here, Facebook over here. Today's been an eventful day, shall I say, at the least. Share this video on Facebook, if you would, please, sirs and ma'ams. Got a lot to talk about over here on YouTube. Please, if you have not already, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, tap all. That way you can get notified when I go live. I had to take me a nap. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize for eating while I'm working. But I had to take me a nap earlier today because I was tired of Boston. And so that's why I'm doing this late tonight. Let me see what's going on over here. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you. So, without further ado, if you're new here, let me explain to you what I do. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Right now, I've got like that I'm going to give weekly briefings on what's going on in the news, not just locally, but abroad. We've got some other channels here in Little Rock that handles what's going on what's going on locally. And I might touch on some of that, but for right now, I'm discussing what's going on worldwide on the global level. So let's start with what's going on in Pennsylvania. If you haven't been following the news, a man broke into the governor's house, Governor Shapiro's mansion, got past security undetected, got into the mansion, and set the mansion on fire. He was looking for Governor Shapiro in the mansion, but he could not find him and his family, who were asleep at the time. I guess that's how big the mansion was. But this guy was able to get into the mansion past security, set the mansion on fire, and then depart from the mansion and the grounds and got away undetected. The only way the man was captured and had his court date, which he was denied bail, was he actually turned himself in. He turned himself in and stated why he did it. And he was trying to get to the governor of Pennsylvania, which is Shapiro. Donald Trump has called the guy a whack job. He referred to the guy as a whack job. And of course, the guy's mother has also contacted authorities and said that her son had went off his medication. And that was why he did what he did. Always somebody off their medication. This is a seemingly a take responsibility for your own actions type of world. I mean, you did what you did. Face up to it and own up to it. So that's what's going on over there in Pennsylvania with the governor of Pennsylvania. This morning, as some of you all will know, Blue Origin took flight from a town in Texas, Van Horn, Texas, to be exact. It was a all-female crew and had a couple of celebrities on there. They had Gayle King, Katy Perry, and I want to say it was 6 in all. It had 4 more other women. The total flight was women, and they were blasted off from the Earth into space. So far up, it's given. And then they ascended back to the ground, United States. Onlookers that were there was Oprah. As you all know, Oprah and Gayle are really good friends. You can see Oprah on the side crying, very emotional. So it was really something to see. Where they at 8:41 a.m. actually touched back down on the ground here in the United States, in Texas. It was quite, if you're the type of person that like to watch things like that. If you haven't watched it, you can go on the World News and watch it. Let me turn this glare off back here. Because there's a glare over me. So I'm going to turn that off. So now the Trump administration pushes back on a court order for them to bring back the wrongly deported man that they deported to the El Salvador prison. El Salvador president visited the White House today. Okay, so we're gonna be on this one for a slight little minute. The Trump administration says it does not have the authority to forcibly extract a man mistakenly deported. Trump suggests he's open to deporting U.S. citizens. Trump has stated that he's open to deporting U.S. citizens to other countries. I'm not making this up, people. I am not making this up. I swear I'm not making this up. You can Google it yourself. Trump administration says it does not have the authority to forcibly extract this man who was mistakenly deported. And Trump suggests he's open to deporting U.S. citizens. Now, when he says, I don't think he's talking about like you and myself who were born naturalized here and everything, black, white, whatever. I think he's talking about Hispanics and others that may have been born here or came here and or I wouldn't say born here, individuals who may have came here and got the paperwork in order and done the right way and everything, and talking about getting rid of them. I don't know, but it clearly says that he's talking about, he's on the verge, he's entertaining deporting U.S. citizens. So all I can say is buckle up. Buckle up. Now, if you're not familiar, the United States Supreme Court has told Donald Trump, you need to get in talks with El Salvador to get that deported man that you wrongly deported back here in the United States. Trump administration said they're not. Basically, they said not. They're talking with El Salvador. The El Salvador president was in Washington today, but the El Salvador president straight up said, I'm not deporting him back. United States said we don't have the legality to go into their country and get this man and bring him back. We can't do that. We don't have the authority to go into El Salvador and extract him back. But what we do have the authority to do is, if El Salvador says wishes to send him back to the United States can correlate getting a plane to El Salvador and then load him up on the plane and then bring him back to the United States. That can be done. But the El Salvador president straight up said in the White House, he ain't deporting him. So this dude that was mistakenly, who was a U.S. citizen, who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador, and not just El Salvador, but to an El Salvador prison, can't get back here into the United States. Okay, moving right along. Ukraine mourns dozens killed in a missile attack by Russia. Several of the dead are children. This happened yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. This is the deadliest attack so far this year that Russia has put on Ukraine. President Zelensky of Ukraine and his country is just toast right now because he has absolutely no help, basically. You remember how J.D. Vance and Trump talked so recklessly to him in the White House, in the Oval Office. He clapped back But sadly, they just treated Zelensky like he was crap. Talked to him like he was crap. And I don't know. I don't know. Talking about tariffs for a minute. Trump kind of scaled back on his so harshly amounts of the tariffs that people started, he was changing his mind. He boldly told them, I don't change my mind. I'm just flexible. So I don't change my mind. I'm just flexible. But he did tell them this about pharmaceuticals, about medication. Because we get a lot of our, like I said last time, we get a lot of our medication from China. Um, Trump said the same amount of tariffs that are on cars and steel will be applied to pharmaceutical, to big pharma. So that means if you're paying a copay or you're paying for your medication, be ready to look at the prices going up. All you do is, if you don't already have it, download GoodRx on your phone or another app where you can scan it at the pharmacy and get a big discount on your medication. I've seen in a lot of cases where medication be like scan, you get the generic, and somebody scan their card, and that $100 or some dollars goes all the way down to like $30. Even sometimes 10 to 15. It makes a big difference. These tariffs is hurting a lot of people, especially small businesses. Right here in the United States today, in Austin, Texas, 6 people were hurt, 24 homes were damaged in an explosion in a Austin, Texas neighborhood. It was said by some witnesses that they could hear and feel this explosion up to 20 miles away from the explosion site. It's still under investigation to find out exactly what happened, how did it happen, and so forth. So, if you have family, friends in Austin, Texas, surrounding area, you haven't already, check on them, make sure that they're all right. But 6 hurt and 24 homes were damaged. At least 24 homes were damaged last time they reported in that explosion in Austin, Texas today. Now, let's talk about Mark Zuckerberg and Meta. I don't even need my notes too much for this one. So you've been following what's going on the news about Meta. Meta is being said by the Trump administration and the government that Meta has become a monopoly. As you know, Meta has Facebook, they have Instagram. I will leave my notes for that. They got the WhatsApp, Oculus, VR, and Messenger. Big factors. And they're trying to the government is trying to break up what they feel as though is a monopoly by Meta. Uh, Mark Zuckerberg took the stand today. He's the first person that they called today. He was on the stand all day long for hours. They were on the witness stand, so stand. They expect for this trial to go. This is his antitrust trial, and that this trial might go 6 weeks. So, this is my opinion. I just think the Trump administration and the government is trying to take Instagram. I believe they're trying to take Instagram from him. And if they do, probably gonna give it to Elon. But who knows? They might. Trump might keep it to damn self. I don't know. But the FTC, the Fair Trade Commission, they ain't playing. You know, these billionaires, big companies, big tech companies, whatever. These people, I mean, true enough, you have to say to yourself, when people build these things and they're smart enough to take them to the heights that they are, X, which is formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, WhatsApp, Oculus VR, Messenger, and the list just goes on and on and on. Can you honestly get mad at these people for what they've done? For you say that they're monopolizing, but they're just simply building their company. And to my understanding, that's what life is about. When you can take one company and build off of it and build more and more and more and more and more and more and expand. Is the Trump administration trying to make sure that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't reach nowhere close to Elon Musk being the richest man in the world? I mean, could that be what it is? Could that be why they're attacking Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and calling them a monopoly? I don't know. All I know is it smells like bullcrap. What it is. Bullshit. Yeah, it does. And I personally, I mean, uh, you know, it's just people. Something. It goes into this other topic that which is my last main topic. Uh, Trump attacked 60 Minutes, the television show 60 Minutes on CBS. He stated, Trump, 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 excuse me, he slams 60 Minutes and says that CBS should lose its license. Let me say that again. Trump slams 60 Minutes and says that CBS should lose its license. Now, like hell, because I watch Young and the Restless, and 6 men don't understand. CBS don't even know like, God, 11 o'clock a.m. I watch my young wrestlers. The hell you saying? But people, I don't know. But what I do know is, and some, I know this is going to be a short video today, not quite even 30 minutes. I want to talk about ending out. I want to talk about locally. I'm not going to be long here on it, but I want to talk about what went on in Conway on this weekend in Conway, Arkansas. First of all, my heartfelt, sincere condolences goes out to the family and friends who lost. Oh, I won't say lost. I won't say lost. My goes out to those who had loved ones taken from them at the event that took place in Conway, Arkansas at the park Sunday. It was tragic. It was something that was senseless. It was something that should not have happened. There are some negative things that I could say about people who were seen on video, but I will not, because I was not there and I do not know exactly what transpired. I can only speak on what I actually saw and what I know. And you have other news affiliates that are taking it way abroad, and that's their business. That is their business. I don't have anything to do with any other's pages to how they choose to run their page and what they choose to say. But here at Marquez TV, it's a Cram Relum, at YouTube, all I will simply say is this. What I saw was atrocious. I saw young men on tables and they were chanting, they were rapping, which there's nothing wrong with the rapping, but whatever they were rapping, they were throwing up gang signs and they were trailing guns all around. And in the video, I saw about 4 or 5 women. It looked like they were kind of like older women, like in their late 20s or mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s. They were there, and when this started going on, you could see the expression on their faces. They was like, "Oh hell no, it's time to go. Let's go, let's go." And they seemingly looked like they left. And this was moments before the shooting actually took place, according to the narrative of the videos. Um, I'm not going to sit here and keep repeating the same old thing about we need to put the guns down. We need to stop doing this. We need to stop doing that. It's people, I'm sorry, but it's over with for that. People need to just stop saying and repeating the same thing. When you constantly keep doing the same thing and expect results, that's insanity. This is not going to change people. I'm sorry, but it needs to be somebody that just speaks the truth. This is not a culture. This has absolutely nothing to do with the culture. This is a mindset from a group of people see violence and negativity as the normal way of life. And that's sad. Constantly getting on social media, the news and everything, and saying and crying and saying, oh, these kids need to put down these guns, these kids need to love. That's not going to help. I'm sorry. I know this is not something that a lot of you all, but it's just not going to happen. What's up, Randy? Um, there will always be violence. There will always be killings. There will always be senseless violence. There will always be senseless killings. There is nothing that, in my opinion, that we can do to change the narrative on the mindset of these young people. They have to do it for themselves. That's just plain and simple. They have to do it for themselves. They have to want it. And right now, they don't want it. They are who they are. And me, all I will tell you is you have to. It's sad when you can't go out to have a good time without worrying if you're going to make it back home. You don't want to just be held captive, another 2020 situation in your home where you're saying, I'm not going out tonight. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to work and I'm going to come back home and I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going out to no nightclub, not to no bar. I'm not going to no house party. I'm not going to the park. I'm not going to the movies. I'm not going nowhere. No one wants to live like that. No one wants to live like that because you will feel that in your home. Yes, you will probably still be alive, but what good is that when you can't live life? Will I go out to the clubs? Yes. If I feel like going out to the clubs, I will. I will. Um, and even in the clubs, you got sometimes the security will let their homeboys bring their own guns up in the club. Let me tell you something. This is a prime example. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do security. I've done security for a number of years. And I'm just telling you, if I'm working the door and I'm shaking the people down, and my nephew, who I know, comes into the club, I'm gonna let him in with it. I'm gonna shake him down, but I'm gonna pass right on past him. I just am. I mean, now a lot of you might not like that, but if I go do that, just imagine how many other security at Taboo, at Twa, at Backstreet, at Trinity, at any other club And I'm not singling nobody out. So let's understand that. I'm not singling Tracy or anybody out. I'm just using for security are human beings. They have family and they have friends. If you don't think if you don't think security does not have favoritism, then I don't know what planet you're living on. But if their homeboy, their brother, their nephew, their cousin, their sister, their niece, their aunt, their uncle, their mama, their daddy, their grandma, their grandpa comes up into that club and has their pistol on them, you think they're gonna tell you, hey, grandma, you can't bring this gun in here. And then call the Little Rock police that's sitting over here to say, man, this woman got a gun in her purse and trying to bring it in here. You think they're gonna do that? No, they're not. So stop using these foolish narratives that are not going to work. They are proven that they are not working. Stop saying the same old stuff over and over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. That's insanity, people. Oh, they need to put down these guns. They're not. They haven't. So why do you keep on saying there are elite people that die Sunday? It's not their fault that they were out there trying to have fun. Some people would say, well, they shouldn't have been out there. No, they were out there having fun. They have all the right in the world. And it goes for the number of people that were injured. They have all the right in the world to be out there to have fun. We were young, just like they are young now, and we were out there trying to have fun and do the stuff that we were doing. But we didn't have the guns back in the 80s, back then. When we were doing ours, we just didn't. Not here in Arkansas. We weren't shooting and killing one another in a park, and it was some isolated shooting, but nothing like this. There's some solutions to this. There are some solutions to this. And I'm just going to say, fuck it. This mass deportation of illegal immigrants and immigrants that are gang members. National Homeland Security, FBI, the CIA, DOGE, NSA, which is National Security, U.S. Marshals, and local law enforcement in all 50 states need to just come together. They need to accumulate and start finding all these gang members and just start rounding them up and deport them to other countries. Get them the fuck up out of the United States. That's the solution. All these gang members, all these known gang members, all these dudes that's in these videos, that's not just for black folks. That's for all these pictures of the presidents and the vice president's sons and everything. all out in the field with their guns and acting crazy and violently and everything. I don't care if they are legalized to carry, if they're out there in the field and they're just making pictures and videos of themselves shooting crazily into the air to be deported to. I'm not just talking about on blacks. I'm talking about on the people who are a menace to society, whether you are black, brown, white, Jew, Gentile, Protestant, or Catholic. If you are on a picture or a video and you're standing out in the field, brandishing a gun in a non-safety way on your head, whether you call yourself an Aryan Brotherhood, whether you call yourself just some black dude that's got a face mask on, or anything of the nature, if you get tattoos of gang membership and everything, and you are affiliated and you're out here doing the stuff that you're doing, yes, this government needs all of you up and deport you out of this country. There needs to be a country somewhere that they can round all y'all up and put you on a plane and just open up the back of the cargo plane and push y'all the hell out while in mid-air. That's the solution to this problem. That is the solution to the problem. When you have cancer, to get rid of the cancer, you eradicate it from the body. You eradicate it from the body. You can't take it and say, okay, let me move it over here to get this working over here. You got to eradicate it from the body. That's what you got to do. People, there are a lot of y'all who agree with me. Oh, it has some ovaries to admit that what I'm saying is the doggone truth. And I'm hoping that with what Trump has said, that he is open to deporting homegrown U.S. citizens. I hope that's what he's referring to. If he's not, I hope he throws that into the law. To be, that's what he's talking about. Because that's the only way. They want to take these guns and want to do all this shooting. Put them in the military. Send them over to, take them all, put them over there in Ukraine and let them fight Russia. Let them fight Russia. Let them help Ukraine out with Russia. So that's the solution. Not, I wish they would put these guns down. Oh, they stopped it. I wish they learned conflict resolution. People, y'all sound about as dumb as an alpaca looks. They're not interested in learning conflict resolution. They're not interested in putting no guns down. Period. Point blank. I just gave you the solution. Now, what the hell you do with it, I don't know, and don't give a damn. Continue to be dumb as hell and think that that is going to. Now, here's a funeral home. Here's funeral homes around Little Rock going to be busy this coming weekend, probably. If not this coming weekend, going to be next weekend. with funerals for those 3 or 4 that passed away down there in Conway yesterday. Got to bury their loved ones. That their peers chose to do. There that is. There that is. YouTube, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit all. That way you can be notified whenever I go live. Facebook, share, like, follow me, all that good stuff. Send me friend requests and all. I appreciate y'all for taking time out y'all's business schedule. I appreciate you. I will be back Wednesday for my weekly. This is my tri-weekly. Today is my tri-weekly. Wednesday will be my bi-weekly. And then Friday will be my end of the week. I can't give you a definitive time right now. All I know is every day I will try to shoot for 5 o'clock. I will try to shoot for 5 o'clock. If I'm not making 5 o'clock, I put a briefing. I put a post up on Facebook of the time that I'm going to, go live. What's up, Raylan Nash? Ray, I'm getting ready to get off here. You'll have to go back and watch the entire video. There's some informative information here, my brother. And I want your opinion on it, especially on the last topic that I just got finished talking about. When I was talking about the situation of this mess that happened in Conway yesterday. So I want you to on Messenger if you want to. Right now I'm having problems with my phone, so you can call me on Messenger, and we can talk that way. And you can tell me, what you think and what's going on and everything like that. What's up, Sid? I just seen you in there. What's up, Sid? I appreciate you for tuning in, man. But it's a sad situation, y'all. All I want to know is what you're gonna do about it. Not what you're gonna talk about, but what you're gonna do about it. And then another sad part about it is for those of y'all who like to live right and claim to live right, when you know some of these Muslims out here that's doing this crazy stuff and they kill somebody, how you gonna let them come home? How you gonna let them still be around you? You know that they just killed some innocent person. That's another thing. Your conscience. Do you have one? Do you have one? Because I believe that when you can go out and you can kill somebody, and then you can turn around and go back home and sit down and eat, take a shower, and rest as if nothing ever happened. There's something wrong with you. And believe this, if you can compartmentalize that, if you can compartmentalize those actions and emotions, believe me when I tell you this. And I've got some people somewhere in your life, those ugly little demons will rise up again. It might be a year from the time of your incidents. It might be 5. It might be 20 years. It might be 30. But let me tell you something, when you out here killing people left and right, one night you're gonna be laying in your bed, and them same spirits of them people gonna come back to haunt your ass. If you don't believe me, ask somebody. Ask somebody. You don't get away. You do not get away. I know somebody right now that's dealing with that. And it's tearing them up. They don't know how to deal with it. But it's factual. It's not a knock. It is not a knock at all. It's true facts, people. What you want to do with it is up to you. So Facebook, good night. YouTube, good night. YouTube, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. Tap all so you can be notified of everything that's going on. Facebook, I appreciate you as I always do. Couldn't do this without you. Y'all take care. And as I always say, God bless your hearts and all of your parts. All of your parts.